Friends, it's Catherine Dodd here from Being All You Can Be. Today we're going to be talking about victory over disempowering habits. Now, this is so very important because every one of us may have disempowering habits. I'll put my hand up. So it's like, why is this so important? The bottom line is our lives right now are a culmination or a package of all the decisions that we have made up to now, all of those decisions. And our decisions are based upon habits and rituals and things that we just do. We get in the habit of doing things. So it's like, hey, we've arrived. Sometimes we need to be intentional about looking at our habits. Either are they empowering or are they disempowering us? Now, what does disempowering mean? It means it's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for others. It's not good for the greater good. So that's how we see if it's a disempowering habit in your life. Now, you may be asking, well, hey, if this is not good for me, not good for others, and not good for the greater good, why do I do this? And that's a really good question because every one of us could put up a hand and go, oh, wow, I have a disempowering habit. Now, let's bring out our old friend procrastination because to a certain extent, every single person could say, yep, I relate to that. We've all put something off. We know we needed to get it done, and we put it off, we put it off, we put it off until it's like, the deadline's tomorrow, or like, oh my goodness. And then it's panic stations. Why do we do that? The bottom line is it comes down to pain and pleasure. And when we procrastinate, when we put off something that we think or perceive is going to be more painful to do it, we put it off for the short term and go, oh, I'll just put it off and go and make a cup of coffee. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow and that'll be good. I'll do something else today that I'd prefer to do. Now, that's not always a decision that we know we're making. It can just be within us that it's like, and we justify decisions through procrastination. So basically, we get little spurts of pleasure by putting off things, by putting off and procrastinating. So what happens with the pain when procrastinating? We get to the deadline, and then all of a sudden, like, oh my goodness, this is really, really painful. But how do we actually change these habits? Because we all have them. We all have disempowering habits. So it could be like the worst case scenario is getting to the point of losing a job because we've procrastinated so much. It could be heading into bankruptcy because we've put off paying the bills or we've put off doing things. It could be potentially losing a partner because we've put off doing things that have been really important. We need to actually get to the point of going, I need to change. We need to get to the point of saying, you know what? I need to put some more pain around this thing because at the moment, procrastinating and putting something off is a little bit more pleasurable for me than pain. So what I'd like to do is this. Here's a simple exercise you can do. So you choose your disempowering habit, and this is what you do. So you go, okay, this is my habit. Today we're here, but travel 3 months ahead of time and go, okay, if I choose not to deal with this disempowering habit, what will my life look like in 3 months' time? What will it look like? What will it sound like? What will people be saying to you? What will you be saying to yourself? What will you be feeling? What will the outcomes be in 3 months' time if you do not take action, if you do not change this habit? Make it painful, make it real for you. Now let's move 3 years into the time. 3 years, you've now continued this habit. You've continued this disempowering habit, no change. And these things of pain have stacked onto each other. It is now more painful. It's like you're looking back and go, oh my goodness, this is not going to be good if I don't change this thing. What are you going to say to yourself? What are you feeling like? What are the costs to you, to your life? What do you now not have? What do you no longer have because you put things off? What is this pain to you now? What's the pain to your family, to people around you that you really care about? Make it real. Now let's move together 30 years into the future. We have now not made any changes to this disempowering habit. It has stayed with us. And we have now moved 30 years into the future. And we are now in this place of like, oh my goodness, what are we feeling? What are we saying to ourselves? Are we saying, I should have done that? I could have done that. I would have done that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Are we going to be like that? What else are we going to say to ourselves? What will we be seeing in our own lives? What will be the feeling, the devastation around us of not taking action, of not changing a disempowering habit? Because often we see the consequences of this, of a bad doctor's report, as I was saying. We can see the consequences of not taking action, not disempowering this habit that's not good. Make it real. But you know what? The good news is we can now come back from that 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. We can come back to today. And the good news is today we can make an empowered decision to go, you know what? That disempowering habit is not going to work well for me in the future. It is not going to work well for the people that I care about in my world. And it's not going to be good for the greater good. It is going to be very, very painful. And the thing is this, what we do, we've now got a stack of pain associated with this disempowering habit. Now, this is the key what we do. Our beliefs around this now change. The first belief is this must change now. It becomes a must. It's not like, oh, that'd be nice if it changed. It's like, no, it must change now. Because if I don't change now, 30 years will come and I don't want to be there. So this must change now. I must change now. That's the second one. I must change now. It becomes personal. It's not like, oh, you people need to do all the changing. It's like, no, I am responsible for the choices that I'm making. I am responsible for the disempowering habits in my world. I must change now. And the last thing is, I can change now. That is the third belief that we build into our life. It's like, I can change now. It's like we then start to find out the solutions. We then start to find out the keys to empower us to do this. And there are processes afterwards to do this. But these are the first three beliefs that we have to break and find victory over disempowering habits. We have our pain. It's like 30 years is going to come sooner or later. 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. That's going to be painful if I don't change this disempowering habit. Then we go, you know what? We look at our beliefs. It's like, I must change now. This must change now. And I can change now. So, friend, if you're someone who is in something that you're going, you know what? I actually want to do this. And what is the next step? Then, I'd love to run with you for this. There is treasure within you. And basically, every single person can look at a habit and go, I want to change. Every single person can be empowered to change. So I'd love to be your running partner to go, you know what? Let's do this together, find the solutions, and actually make the change so that your life can actually be truly amazing and empower those around you and the greater good. That's what it's all about. You've been created for greatness. You've been created for a purpose and a reason. So with the disempowering habit, let that be something to go, you know what? This is the day today where I can make the change. So friend, I trust this has brought value to you today. I've really enjoyed being with you. My name is Catherine Dodd from Being Your You Can Be. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye then.